I would like to call to order the 35th session, special meeting of the Pontiac Charter Revision Commission. Roll call.
It's 1:09. What time is it?
Yes, it's 1:09.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Burrows, Garrett, Killian, Payne, Ramsey,
Here.
Stewart, Turpin,
Here.
Williams, Ibarra. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there a motion to excuse Commissioners Burrows, Garrett, Stewart, and Ibarra?
Moved. Second.
There's been a move in support to excuse commissioners as named. Roll call.
Commissioner Killian,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Ramsey,
Yes.
Turpin,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
5 yeas.
Any amendments to the agenda?
Yes.
What amendments?
There is a resolution that you will have to pass after the review of the correspondence, what the attorney has, and I didn't put it on the agenda.
All right, thank you. So I would like to reflect that Commissioner Garrett is here at 1:10. And is there a motion to add after 7, resolution adopting the charter? Is that? It's been moved by Williams and supported by Killian to change closing comments to add between review of correspondence and closing comments, the resolution. Roll call.
Commissioner Killian,
Yes.
Payne, Ramsey,
Yes.
Turpin,
Yes.
Williams, Garrett.
Yes.
6 yeas.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Moved.
It's been moved by Williams and supported by Turpin to approve the agenda as amended. Roll call.
Commissioner Payne, Ramsey,
Yes.
Turpin, Williams, Garrett,
Yes.
Killian.
Yes.
6 yeas.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our March 20th, 2024 meeting?
Moved. Support.
It's been moved by Williams and supported by Killian. Roll call.
Commissioner Ramsey,
Yes.
Turpin, Williams, Garrett, Killian,
Yes.
Payne.
Yes.
5 yeas.
Public comment?
None.
All right, we are going to go into the review of the correspondence. You're on, sir.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Charter Commission. It's nice to see you again on a nice sunny day. Hopefully, this review will be able to be achieved in a prompt manner. I know you all are busy. Thank you for carving out time of your day to talk to me. With respect to these changes, I have had several conferences with the staff of the State of Michigan Attorney General's office since the last forwarded draft from the Charter Commission. And those review sessions with the Attorney General's office have been extensive. There has also been, most recently, within the last 4 days, additional meetings with the Attorney General's office after they have conducted a review with the Bureau of Elections with respect to issues that the Bureau of Elections has noted with respect to the draft document. You should have all received a redlined version that incorporates changes that the Charter Commission's previously made, as well as additional edits that the Bureau of Elections and Office of the Attorney General are asking the Charter Commission to consider. And so with that background, I think if it pleases the chair, I would propose addressing and focusing on what those changes are so that the commission can provide its comment and position on that. If the and one other just preliminary comment was with respect to the timing. In my communication to the clerk, Ms. Grandison, I noted from the Attorney General's communication the hard deadline that they have to obtain. The governor's office has a hard April 30 stop that it needs its the review from the Attorney General's office to the governor's office. And so the Attorney General's office is saying we need to, while I have spoken to the two officials that are in charge of charter reviews, there are other higher levels of review at the Attorney General's office that still need to provide their input before they make a recommendation to the governor's office with respect to her obligation to weigh in on the charter. So if you would look to 5.205 of the charter of the draft, there was a reference to section 4.504 of the charter that was with respect to the previous.
What page you on, Chris?
It's section 5.205. Let me. And there, you'll see there's a line assigned to duty as required by section 4.504 of this charter. That section's been removed, and so it's just a cleanup item. The suggestion of the AG is to remove that reference.
Okay, you have to say what section.
I make a motion to remove from 5.205 tax limits, the verbiage after the word fireman assigned to duty as required by section 4.504 of this charter.
There's been a motion to remove said line. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Turpin, moved by Williams. Discussion? Roll call?
Commissioners Turpin, Williams,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Payne,
Yes.
Ramsey.
Yes.
6 yeas.
May I continue?
Yes, please.
On page 27, 6.101, the Charter Commission previously made some edits to this section. The Attorney General's office proposes, rather than referencing some of the identified provisions of protection under the Civil Rights Acts of Michigan, that there be a reference to the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act as amended, which lists all of them. The list that was in the previous draft did not include all of the protected categories that are currently in the state statute. And that recommendation is, rather than have some of the categories listed, to simply reference the the city government shall comply with the provisions of the Elliott Civil Rights Act, MCL section 37.2101 as amended.
Is there a motion to change 6.101 from affirmative action to non-discrimination and to strike the lines prohibit discrimination in employment because of race, color, religion, sex, age, national origin, handicap, marital status, sexual orientation, height, or weight, and add the line shall comply with the provisions of the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Acts, MCL 37.2101 as amended?
Moved.
It's been moved by Williams and supported by Turpin. Discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Turpin,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
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 Page 28, 6.106, the Attorney General's office, there is a state statute regarding conflicts of interest and contracts between employees and municipal governments. The proposed text is to add the reference in this section on the first line of A, and subject to limitations of MCL section 15.328, as amended.
Is there a motion to approve the language submitted by our attorney?
Move. Support.
It's been moved by Williams and supported by Killian.
That's Garrett.
Garrett, thank you. For section 6.106, conflict of interest. Discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Ibarra,
Abstain.
Garrett,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
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 Page 29 of the text, section 6.107, it is the section entitled Retirement Plans. The Attorney General's office suggests at the end of the first sentence, a period after consistent with law, not knowing and understanding what the previous text was, which was that does not extend liability beyond the current fiscal year. The proposed change to the last line also was edited to provide the existing governing bodies for administering those plans, the benefit schedules for those plans, and the terms for accruing rights to and receiving benefits under those plans shall remain after the effective date of this charter.
It's been moved by Williams and supported by Killian. Discussion. I guess my question is, that sentence was put in so that there could be no past liability being put on current plans, correct?
Right.
So by removing that, we're putting it back to where it was before the change was made. Are people okay with that, or are there ways that we can change it based on what we were trying to do in a way that others would understand it? Because I think that's the concern.
The AG's office did not understand what was trying to be achieved and did not think that it was, they did not have clarity as to the concept of that does not extend liability beyond the current fiscal year. They also, previously, earlier versions, they were concerned with the reference to ordinance status, which you've previously made an edit to that.
Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Garrett. All right,
I think-
go ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry, ma'am. It was it was put in so that it was kind of based around what we're kind of going through right now and not bearing the retirement plan once it's not being changed by.
So can you tell the attorney what our thought was behind it, and maybe he can help us with the wording?
And that's how I'm trying to. Give me a second.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but we're gonna have to talk about it today.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, give Garrett some time to think about it and then kind of make some other changes that are probably not as crucial.
Okay, what do we need to do? Rescind the motions?
Yes.
Rescind the motion, then table it to come back to it.
Yeah,
So I rescind my motion. That's
okay.
it.
So the motions have been, and the support has been rescinded.
Or you can take a point of privilege since you've heard, if there's no objection to move past this item to return to it. You don't necessarily have to take a vote to it.
Well, we've just rescinded it, so we'll just keep moving with that train of thought.
Okay, I make a motion to table it and, support.
There's been a move to table this for a minute,
Right.
during this thing, and in a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call? Yes.
Commissioner Burrows arrived at 1:22. Commissioner Burrows? Killian?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Ramsey?
Yes.
Turpin? Williams?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Go right ahead.
Page 31, 6.402, after registered electors, the Attorney General's office wanted of the city to be put there. Also, later in that paragraph, another reference to registered electors of the city, just for consistency.
Is there a motion to change 6.402 as read by the attorney?
I move.
Moved by Ibarra, supported by Williams. Discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Garrett?
Yes.
Killian?
Yes.
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 8 yeas.
We did not hit on 6.302. Was that one as well?
I'm sorry, 6-302.
Yes.
I think that was done at the previous version.
Okay.
But it's in the index, but those include a lot of changes that were previously addressed by the Charter Commission.
Okay.
The next 7.102, disclosures. You'll see numbering was inserted with respect to those items. They just wished the margins to be addressed in the paragraph.
Okay, is there a motion to update 7.102? Moved by Garrett, supported by Ibarra. Discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Killian?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes.
Ramsey?
Yes.
Turpin? Williams?
Yes.
Ibarra?
Yes.
Burrows?
Yes.
Yes.
8 yeas.
Moving to I think the most important section that they raised as a concern, 9.101, which references the proposed effective date of the charter.
Page 49?
That's correct. And this is inconsistent with what the commission recommended in its last text. The last version that it had forwarded to the Attorney General's office proposed an April 1st, 2025 effective date. Both the Bureau of Elections and Attorney General's office are concerned with that provision should the charter be adopted, that it will not afford sufficient time for the administrative tasks of recreating the necessary districts that are being modified and changed. And coupled with that, the proposed election cycle for 2025, that it would be in flux. And they were strongly concerned about that. I said, well, what if it was moved earlier to perhaps January 1st? And they pushed back strongly that this is their recommendation for the commission's consideration, that it would be effective upon the approval of the Board of Canvassers, essentially. So it goes to the electors, and that is what their recommendation is. Again, it's up to you, but the text with their proposed change is likely to receive positive recommendation from their office. And, to the extent that the commission declines, whether or not they will still make their recommendation of support and approval to the governor's office is unknown.
All right, is there a motion?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I thought there may be a question on that issue.
Well, we need to do a move and support before discussion happens. Is there a move?
I'll move it. Support.
It's been moved by Williams and supported by Garrett. Discussion?
So what is the recommendation? Like this?
The recommendation is that it goes to the voters, and if it's approved, it's effective upon the
Certification
certification by the Board of Canvassers,
by the county.
So we need, if,
which would be probably late August to
Early
September of 2024.
So the charter would go into effect shortly after this year, shortly after, if the voters approve it.
okay, and we were asking for the same length of time.
We were asking for July or April of next year, of 2025.
Right, to give time for the
Yes.
implementation piece.
No, it actually, but you will have elections in 2025. You won't be able, the concern expressed, both by the Bureau of Elections, although I didn't hear their comments, they were relayed to me through the Attorney General's office, was that the time, because the proposed charter realigns the districts of the elected council members, there's in the charter, it requires an ordinance to be adopted and passed on that, but also those districts have to be created to be roughly proportionate with respect to number of persons in those, and that takes time. You need to have either a system to set that up very carefully and precisely, and also there's the timeline associated with those future elections for candidates to know what district they might wish to be running for. And that's the uncertainty and the concern that both of those those state offices expressed.
I feel them to be valid concerns, Madam Chair. However, I just need to know, just in plain language, like what would be the effective piece to if it goes, if we say the 24th, right? Like, so we do have an election coming up next year. Will they have time enough to separate those items or
Yes.
to do what they need to do? And if that's
Yeah.
yes, and I have no problem with the change. That's
Okay.
the only thing that I want to know.
Yes, I think that's where we all are. Oh, can you turn your mic on, please?
Madam Chair, I think we was thinking opposite. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well, that's perfect.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve 9.101 as read by the attorney? Oh, we did that? Okay, oh, we did. Any more discussion? That's where we are. Killian,
I think it was around the same thing because it was confusing me.
Mike, please.
It was also confusing me about the actual date we have now to, seems like you're saying we're given less time or more time according with the Board of Canvassers, because we had a set date and now we kind of don't.
No, what they're saying is, once the Board of Canvassers approve it, that should be enough time to give the needed bodies that we were concerned about time to be able to make the changes needed. So they're saying this works better than what our timeline is because they actually know what it takes and did the math, where we were just assuming and guessing.
Okay.
Ibarra.
Just a point of clarity. So, to my understanding, this would mean we are wanting to have the charter be effected earlier for them to actually work on the changes that we initially thought we were providing until that July date.
Can you turn your mic on, please?
It keeps turning off on me. Sorry about that. Or somebody up there is turning me off, and I don't blame you. But you had made the comment of their changes. It's really the city would be charged with making those district changes, and so the state thinks having the charter effective gives more time to the city administration to make those necessary changes for the planned 2025 elections. Well, right, after it's, essentially, that
Certified.
means after it's confirmed that the charter passes.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
All right, any further discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Payne? Ramsey?
Yes.
Turpin?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Burrows?
Yes.
Garrett?
Yes.
Killian?
yes,
8 yeas.
There were a few other minor edits of grammar, non-substantive, which the board has already, or the commission previously authorized the edit of. They're reflected in the red line document. I want to make sure the commission comes back to the earlier issue, but there's no other housekeeping items except for that section, and then obviously consideration of the resolution, which I have copies of. I think you do as well, Ms. Grandison.
All right. So we need to revisit, what section was that?
Page 29, 6.10, sir.
Thank you.
The retirement.
Page 29, 6.107, retirement plans. We are taking out continued. Commissioner Garrett.
It was the thought process in which as I was arguing was that that whatever we had in the current budget or the budget to pay for the retirement plans, just in plain language, in retirement plans, that it does not, the liability, we have enough in the budget to cover it, and that it can't be taken away, such as like the $400 piece. There was some misunderstanding around that. I wasn't quite sure if it was done from the city side or not wanting to pay it to the retirees, things of that nature. But it was just to say that when we have an established retirement plan that's consistent with law, that we have enough funds to make sure we take care of that plan and no one can come back and take away from it, if that makes sense. So if they're concerned, that was the concern, because we have a space where retirees were receiving $400, but because of the budget impact for it going into the next fiscal year, they're not receiving it anymore. And then now they're fighting to get it back, which is going back and forth between the judge approved to get it back. Now it's alleged that executive office is trying to take it, to not give it, but then now, just of last week, the council can give it. Like, it's this whole back and forth piece. And so we just wanted to make sure that once something is established in the retirement, that no one can go by, and that whatever's established has to be paid through our budget. It can't just be eliminated.
Retroactively changed. Is that what it is?
Yes, sort of, yes. Just can't be.
The new administration can't change something.
Correct.
It can't be retroactively changed. Retroactively
Or
changed.
delay the payment based on the city not having the money.
Okay.
So that's the thought process, but I don't know.
Huh? No, they have the money, they have it, but then another administration comes in and never liked the idea that they had the $400. Retirees had the $400, came in, looked at it, did an audit and was like, oh, we got a structural deficit, which we had, but then it says, okay, here's the savings. Well, we're not going to commit to the $400, even though there was a judgment to commit to the $400. What I'm just saying is, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
No, not exactly. I mean,
Okay.
if there's a judgment, that would be, as a matter of law, there's a judgment.
yeah,
right?
they don't care about judgments around here. They don't.
Well,
they
that's-
fight them back and go back and forth.
But
and
that's not a, I think you're saying that's not a charter thing, that's a legal thing.
that's a legal thing, right?
So
Well-
Okay.
our question is, can, now that you understand what the thought process was behind it, can you help us word it? Or is that something that we can't legislate through the charter?
Well, the charter is to provide guardrails on your government in a framework. But that issue, I am concerned about that. I've heard part of it. I'm just not sure if I can, right now at the table, draft exactly what you're concerned about in a manner that doesn't have the Attorney General's office, raising their, that concern. So,
If you may, Madam.
concerned with
Since-
what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay.
So, so, Mr. Chris, could we, because this is going to start August the 6th, shortly after August the 6th, is there a way that we can order the council to make an ordinance regarding this in order to put those things in place?
well, you can't, it already says, may establish by ordinance its retirement plans. Now, I suppose further clarity on what that ordinance is, to protect vested rights of employees.
Yes.
Established by ordinance, its retirement plans consistent with law that shall not abrogate vested rights of employees.
So we're not, Madam Chair, if we may. And it's to, and Commissioner Williams, thanks for bringing it up, and I should have looked at that a little bit more clear. We can't legislate it through this process. I'm comfortable with the fact that is the city may establish by ordinance. I'm cool with that statement. We just have to, as those who are aware of it now, make sure that when the city is starting to work on the ordinance, that we're here to make sure that the proper wording is done,
Yes.
wordsmithed in there. I don't want to legislate it through this space because there was a very, very intentional statement in the last comment from our attorney, is that I don't want to raise something from the Attorney General that we've already have a judgment on in court. And the fact that I do believe this council plans on making sure that that judgment is held up and they fight it amongst us.
Yes.
And not get anybody else involved. So I withdraw. That was the intent. I'm okay with the wording as it is right now.
All right, is there a motion to approve 6.107 retirement plans as worded by the attorney?
Moved by Garrett.
It's been moved by Garrett, supported by Payne. Further discussion? Roll call?
Commissioner Ramsey,
Yes.
Turpin. Yes. Williams,
Yes.
Ibarra,
Yes.
Burrow,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes. Yes.
Payne.
Yes.
88.
There is also a proposed resolution. This resolution is similar to the previous resolutions the Charter Commission has adopted, but it comes from the Attorney General's office. And if you wish, Madam Chair, I could read it. I'm not sure if everyone received a copy or not.
I believe so, but if you could read it for the record, that would be great.
Okay. Again, this would be an updated resolution. It would say the City of Pontiac Charter Commission resolution to adopt proposed charter at a special meeting of the City of Pontiac Charter Commission held on April 14th, 2024. The following resolution was offered by Charter Commissioner and seconded by Commissioner. Resolved that the City of Pontiac Charter Commission hereby adopts the proposed new 2024 charter for the City of Pontiac presented at its meeting, apparent subject to editorial changes, including grammar, punctuation, numbering, et cetera, in place of the charter adopted on February 10th, 2024, and on March 21st, 2024. And the Commission's attorney is directed to transmit a copy of this charter to the Governor of the State of Michigan for her approval and to the Office of the Attorney General in accordance with state law. It is further resolved that a copy of the proposed charter shall be filed with the City Clerk. 2, copies of the proposed charter shall be distributed to the Oakland County Clerk, the Mayor, and the City Council. And the City Clerk and the County Clerk shall be and hereby are requested to submit the proposed charter to a vote of the qualified electors of the city at the election to be held on Tuesday, August 6, 2024, with the following question. Shall the 2024 city charter proposed by the Pontiac Charter Revision Commission be adopted? Yes or no? This proposed charter shall be published online and in accordance with state law, and copies made available at the city clerk's office. This resolution is adopted by the following vote.
Move.
Support. It's been moved by Williams and supported by Killian. Garrett. Roll call.
Commissioner Turpin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
This roll call is to adopt the change, to adopt the resolution to adopt the proposed charter. Just so everybody knows, that's what we're voting on, to approve the charter for the last revision that we just had. Thank you.
Commissioner Turpin.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Ibarra.
Yes.
Burrows. Garrett.
Yes.
Killian.
Yes.
Ramsey.
Yes.
8 yeas.
All right, so we have just approved hopefully the final revision of the 2024 Pontiac Charter revision.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the commission. I will be forwarding that charter to the Office of the Attorney General and the Governor tomorrow as soon as I receive the sealed resolution from Deputy Clerk Grandison.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much. Just one final thing before you leave. Is it possible that we can get you on the schedule for the council meeting so that we can do a special presentation about the changes?
When would that be? Or when are you thinking?
It would be based on your schedule. Their meetings are
Yes,
on Tuesdays.
yes.
Tuesdays?
Yes.
Yes, Tuesdays.
Would you want to have or direct the deputy clerk to give me some proposed dates, and I can,
Yes.
or I could provide you some proposed
Provide me
Tuesdays?
Proposed dates.
I'll do that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much for that. All right. Okay, I guess we are at closing comments. We will start with Payne.
No comment.
Thank you. Turpin. Thank you. Ibarra.
Happy Sunday. No comments.
Thank you. Burrows.
Thank you.
Garrett.
Thank you. Happy Sunday.
Killian.
Honors to Ms. Evelyn Duff. Honors to this Charter Commission. Appreciate all y'all work. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you. Williams.
No comment.
All right, I have no comment. Happy Sunday. I do have a comment. Thank y'all very much for making this a priority. I know that a lot of us had to change things around and try to get off work in time. So I appreciate all of you. We do have until, Mr. Chris, you said April 14th?
May.
May 14th. For any, there could be more revisions or more questions. What's the deadline for all of that to end?
May 14th is the deadline in order for the Oakland County elections
Okay.
to have it on the, that's state law with respect to the election deadline. The governor's deadline is she won't review or approve a proposed charter if she has not received the necessary reports and recommendations from the Attorney General's office before April 30th.
Okay, April 30th. So if we just, April 30th is our drop dead date. If we get an email, if the clerk says, hey, bat signal, like I appreciate if we could do everything we can to do what we did today. Because I don't want all the work that we've done to fizzle out because we couldn't get a meeting to have a conversation to make any opposed changes to get it to the Attorney General's office. So I thank our attorney for working on a Sunday and making sure that we're getting this done. And I think our next thing is to wait to hear back, and after that, to start with our education and outreach. So thank you very much, and everybody have a good Sunday. This meeting is over at 1:50. Thank you.
Enjoy your day. Thank you.